Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to night 2 this time of our instant draft reactions night of course, we're going to have the full breakdown on our podcast Going in Raw tomorrow, but night 2 is in the books, and we're also monitoring the situation on Raw Talk. That's the sister show to the SmackDown Lowdown.
Yeah, why did Raw Talk get to keep its name, but Talk and Smack got a name change?
I'm telling you, we talked about that earlier today on the show. I got my theories on that one. Anyways, overall, interesting decisions made today on night 2. Let's just take these one by one.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, this is my opinion in one motion right here. I'm scratching my head. Bit of a head scratch.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, first round, of course, as predicted, Raw got first pick every round because it's on Raw.
It's on Raw.
First overall pick, night 2, Rhea Ripley.
No brainer. Knew that one was coming.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
she's the champion on the other brand, so they're going to do a title swap. Now.
Exactly, for sure, confirmed title swap now.
Confirmed title swap.
Second pick by SmackDown, Austin Theory, the U.S. champ, which makes sense because the Intercontinental champion is now on Raw. Now Austin Theory,
yeah,
is drafted as U.S. champion, go to SmackDown. So come on, Bobby Lashley, let's win this match at Backlash, please.
They're both going to be on SmackDown now. That's a distinct possibility, and especially because later on Bronson Reed landed on Raw, so Bobby Lashley's not going to be extending this feud past Backlash. So I mean, I guess it's a possibility that in order to keep Theory strong, you can have Bronson Reed take the pin. I don't know.
In fact, I think I saw something on the European tour. The match was this triple threat where Lashley was spearing Reed, and then Theory would, get Lashley out of the ring to get the pin on Bronson.
Oh, okay.
I just saw that was a finish to one of the matches on the European tour.
I was hoping to be the other way around where, I don't know, tsunami on Theory, spear on Reed, and then Bobby Lashley makes a... Whatever. We'll find out on Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. SmackDown gets Charlotte Flair.
Oh, you skipped Raw getting Seth Rollins, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Raw got Seth Rollins.
Your future World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins.
That is an absolute guarantee. And then SmackDown gets Charlotte Flair. This makes a lot of sense because I think she's the one horsewoman that Bianca Belair has not bested.
I believe that's correct, yes.
Yeah, whether they do it sooner or later, that's going to happen. That's going to be on Bianca Belair's list of things to do.
Indeed. Round 2 kicked off with Raw selected your tag champs, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And SmackDown followed up by picking the Usos. So this is a situation where I was hoping they'd go in a real interesting direction.
Yeah.
Instead, they went in kind of the safe direction, which was just keep the Usos on SmackDown and just keep prolonging this. Are they getting kicked out of the bloodline or not? Rather than have a real decisive thing.
Man, I think in order to, if they all got to be together in order for the interactions to happen, for the drama to continue, I guess that makes sense. It wouldn't surprise me if we still had something like your scenario that you discussed on the show, where maybe not at Backlash, but after that, the Usos will have to prove themselves to get back into the title picture. But I'm sorry, to get back into the bloodline. But they don't have to worry about the title picture because the title picture's on Raw. That's the biggest curiosity is, look, they may very well either split the titles or do the same thing they did with Raw, which is just invent a new title for SmackDown, a new tag title for SmackDown. And the Usos and Street Profits and all the other tag teams that got drafted to SmackDown can challenge for those titles. But yeah, to have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens just be on Raw without anything for anyone on SmackDown to chase is a curiosity.
It is. There's more curiosities when it comes to tag titles coming up later. And then Raw selected the Judgment Day, Finn, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio. That makes sense. Rhea's on Raw. Makes sense that Judgment Day would follow. And then SmackDown selects the LWO, so that means No Ray and Dom on the same brand. So it seems this story is coming to an end.
I think it's coming to an end for now. They have to understand that there's a lot more you can mine. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think Ray is going to retire anytime soon. Would not shock me at all for Dom to be the one to retire him down the line. But yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Like, split them up, and let's see. You know, when I texted you about how impressed I was with the heat that Dom was getting, and you said, let's see if he can continue that without feuding with his dad. Sink or swim.
Yeah, it's a test.
Sink or swim at this point. I kind of like him moving on, and then you can revisit it, you know, down the line a little bit.
I want it now. I want it immediate now.
I want it now.
Mask versus hair. I want it at Money in the Bank.
Mascaris versus Palo. Round 3, Raw selected the women's tag champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Okay, they're basically cross-brand, though, so that's not going to really stick.
But Raw is their home brand.
Yeah, right. So if they lose those titles, they'll stay on Raw. I guess that's the same thing with Zayn and Owens, is that they'll be cross-brand until they lose the titles, and they'll just be on Raw.
Exactly.
Still kind of goofy. SmackDown chooses Asuka. I don't like this pick because she ends up she's gonna have the ceiling of Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if she were to stay on Raw. But I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know if Bianca or Rhea are going to lose those titles anytime soon. I get the feeling they're on like a similar, they want them to be on a similar trajectory, which is not losing titles anytime soon.
It seems that way. Next up, Raw selected the New Day. And then SmackDown concluded round 3 by selecting Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Ridge, and Butch. So they're staying put on SmackDown.
I like that. I think the Brawling Brutes, we mentioned this earlier today when we were doing our predictions, them being able to feud with the Bloodline is an obvious pick there.
Needs to happen.
And then the New Day staying on Raw.
Oh, going to Raw. They're on SmackDown.
Oh, I'm sorry. Going to Raw, the tag titles are there. So there you go. Round 4, Raw picked up Trish Stratus. This makes a lot of sense because she's in a feud with Becky Lynch, and unless everybody is happy, I kind of assume that's going to be it for Trish Stratus for now. But if everybody's really happy with it, no reason she can't continue to feud with other people there on the Raw.
Totally. This was a bit of a head scratcher. So SmackDown then selects Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Now, last I noticed, Karrion Kross was feuding with Nakamura. Well, Nakamura was drafted to Raw.
Correct.
So they're just going to have their match at SmackDown this week, and that's going to be the blow-off match for this feud? Yes.
Can I be honest with you?
The answer.
I feel like that's all it needs, man. This needs Shinsuke hits that Kinshasa, and then homeboy goes to SmackDown, and Shinsuke stays on Raw, and we get the Shinsuke Miz feud, evidently, that we missed out on before.
Okay.
Was it Shinsuke? No, what was the? When
Nakamura debuted, it was interrupting the Miz.
That's right. Yeah. So we get the King of Strong Style versus the guy who doesn't do strong style.
Who Daniel Bryan described as the soft worker. Then Raw selected Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Tag titles are on Raw, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then SmackDown selects, LA Knight.
LA Knight. He's the megastar. This is the biggest show, most viewed. LA Knight's on a winning streak. To the moon with that guy.
Yeah, put the U.S. title on at the least.
Right. That's gimmick infringement. We'll wait later on to talk about people going to the moon. Round 5. Raw selected the tag team bagging groceries at your local Kroger, Braun Strowman and Ricochet. SmackDown selected Shotzi, depth guy. Raw selected Bronson Reed, sort of to be determined if he's a depth guy or not.
Well, I mean, he was right now going into Backlash. He's in the U.S. title picture. Now, after draft, squarely outside U.S. title picture because he's on the brand opposite the U.S. title. Again, a situation where they're in the midst of a feud with Bronson Reed and Lashley. This could have been one of those things kind of akin to Roman and Braun, where they just went out and did awesome stuff and destroyed stuff.
Yeah.
But they're not doing it now because Lashley and Reed are going to be on separate brands.
That being said, they've been giving Bronson Reed a lot of those video packages lately, and there's plenty of people on Raw. You got Drew McIntyre on Raw. You can feud with him for a bit. Other people, if you want to go up to Seth Rollins, you can feud with that. If you want to make Bronson Reed seem like more than a depth guy, have him feud with the guy who's going to have the World Heavyweight Championship, and then he'll lose that, and then he'll go back down and.
You're describing a depth guy, Steve.
No, depth guys don't involve themselves with world heavyweight champions.
Well, for a short-term program coming at the losing end, they most certainly do.
I don't know. We might have different definitions of depth, guys. But let's talk about not guys, but boys. Yes, boy. Pretty deadly. Got picked up by SmackDown. This is awesome for them. Of course, they died, so they're coming back to life on main roster.
And they're not the gruesome twosome.
So that's been avoided for now.
For now.
But if they debut, who knows? I wonder if there's going to be any amount of continuity, like if they're going to show up and reference the fact.
Oh, they should walk out for their first appearance on SmackDown just soaking wet.
Right, exactly. That's what they should do.
And be upset. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Round 6 kicked off with Raw selecting Alpha Academy, not broken up, same brand as Maximum Male Models. In fact, no teams, no factions were broken up during the draft. None.
Boo on that one. Yeah.
SmackDown selected Rick Boogs.
He had the best picture on WWE.com now. He's like, oh, it's amazing.
It's really good.
I love this. Biggest show, huge star, Rick Boogs. Let's go. Let's do it. No, that's in two picks here.
Yeah.
After that, Raw selected. Here's the thing: Katana Chance and Caden Carter. That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Them.
They've been in NXT for a long time. It's great. They're going to the main roster. Absolutely.
1,000%. Shawn Michaels found out day of draft that his tag team champions were getting drafted. So he set this match up for Tuesday. 1,000%. He had no idea these two were getting called up today. And so we're stuck with a match tomorrow that just does not matter at all.
No.
They're going to vacate the titles.
Yeah. Unless during the show on Tuesday, a third team gets added to the match and that team wins.
All my confidence points on that team, whatever that team is.
Exactly. And then Mr. Irrelevant for the draft, at least for the televised portion of it, to the moon, Cameron Grimes.
To the moon. So I know there's been like a picture floating around of him being super jacked.
Yeah.
I hope that he's continued that and he shows up after on the SmackDown after Backlash looking like Boogs.
Oh, that'd be something else.
Just with long hair. I want him to be beef plus, man.
Oh, interesting. So we got some more picks here, courtesy of
Raw Talk.
Raw Talk, thank you. Grayson Waller was drafted to SmackDown during Raw Talk.
There it is.
Odyssey Jones going to Raw.
Odyssey Jones is on Raw. Okay, all right, I like it. I like it.
We haven't seen much of Odyssey in NXT, but what we've seen, I've really liked. So,
Indus Sher.
Yep.
Is drafted to Raw, including Jinder Mahal. I love that. That is so awesome for them. I'm kind of surprised that they went and did this because Veer telegraphed it a couple weeks ago. Said, I'm coming. I'm like, dude, come on, you guys need to learn. Stay off social media.
I know.
It's in trouble.
Also drafted to Raw, we had Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, Akira Tozawa, Piper Niven, Zia Lee, Tegan Knox, Riddick Moss, and Emma, as well as John Gargano, Dana Brooke, Nikki Cross, SmackDown, drafted Tamina, and then we have free agents.
Yes, Baron Corbin
makes all the sense.
So Baron Corbin and Von Wagner, cut from the same cloth.
Yeah,
are
the only two-time going in Raw wrestlers of the year. Yes,
Larson, my guy. Zion Quinn is a free agent. He got the main roster call up to free agent brand.
Yep, free agent brand. And then also Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, and Elias are also free agents. This is as about 8:45 Pacific time on Monday, so I guess it's possible there might be some more announcements coming soon, maybe.
So 6. Okay, it said, according to WWE's Twitter, it claimed those are the final picks.
All right.
So I think that's everything. Yeah. So Grayson Waller did end up on SmackDown. That makes all the sense. Whatever brand Miz ain't on, he's gonna be there. Yeah, exactly.
There's some interesting choices here in terms of interrupting storylines to separate people in the draft. You got the situation where you have the two teams contending for the NXT Women's Tag Titles both being called up. That could be resolved during NXT pretty easily if they just add a third team to the match. But all in all, coming out of night one of SmackDown, I didn't have a whole lot to quibble with. After night two, some head-scratching decisions. But, we'll see how it all plays out and just go from there, I guess.
I think the biggest one for me isn't even necessarily the stories that are being interrupted because, I mean, they're kind of on par with each other. Lashley and Reed, yeah, they could do some cool stuff. Shinsuke and dude Karrion Kross, they could do some cool stuff. But really, I expect bigger things out of Lashley. Expect bigger things out of Shinsuke. So, we could just imagine they won their feuds, right? The biggest head scratch for me is the tag titles. And again, they're probably going to be cross-brand. But yeah, to not, I don't know, specify that is a little bit on the weird side.
They probably don't know.
You're probably right. They
Probably don't know. It's like, let's get through Backlash. We'll figure the rest of this out.
I think you're probably right about that. So yeah, anyways, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. What did you think of night 2 of the draft? What do you think of the draft in total? We're going to have our winners and losers of the draft coming up Wednesday.
Yes.
So be on the lookout for that right here at Friendo Club Wrestling. Of course, our podcast Going in Raw. We're going to have a whole rundown of the entire Monday Night Raw from last night, all the behind the scenes news that's available as well. So check that out over at youtube.com/Steven Larson or wherever podcasts can be found. We also tape it live on the Twitch and YouTube, twitch.tv/Steven Larson. Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. Hit that sub button, hit that thumbs up, hit the notify bell. Till next time, we'll see you later.
Goodbye.